Hello friends, I'm Professor Wayam Khan and today we'll discuss some more problems on queuing model. So let's begin with our numericals on queuing model. So this is the second example that we are going to see here. Now in last video we have seen one example of a queuing model. Okay, now this is the second one that we are going to see today. Okay, now let's see what sort of numerical or what sort of question is given to us. So in this question, it is asked in a service department manned by one server. Okay, now in the first statement of this question, it is said that a service department manned by one server. So that means there is only one server, or that means that is a single channel is present there. Single service channel is present there. Okay. Now, on an average, 8 customers arrive every 5 minutes. So this particular thing is your arrival rate, and it is given for 5 minutes. Now it is given for 5 minutes. Okay. Now in every 5 minutes, 8 customers arrive in the system. Okay. Eight number of customers arrive every 5 minutes. While the server can serve, that means this single server can serve 10 customers in the same time. That means for every 5 minutes, 10 customers are served. After every 5 minutes, 10 customers are served here. That means this is your service rate and this is your arrival rate. Now, assuming Poisson distribution for arrival and exponential distribution for service rate, find or of customers in the system. You have to find average in the system. You have to find average number of customers in the average time a customer spends in the system, average time a customer waits for being served. So the four regular things that includes in your model is asked here, and let's begin with the first thing that we need to compute. First of all, we need to compute the arrival rate. Okay, now it is given for 5 minutes. Okay, now every 5 minutes, 8 customers arrive. So what about per minute? How much customers arrive in a minute? So it can be computed by dividing 8 by 5. That means every 5 minutes, 8 customers are arriving. So 8 by 5, it will give us the number of customers per minute. So there is 1.6 customers arriving every minute. So every minute there is 1.6 customers. Whereas service rate mu, it is given to us, it is 10 customers for 5 minutes. Every 5 minutes, 10 customers are arriving. So what about every minute? So dividing 10 by 5 will give us number of customers arriving per minute. So number of customers arriving per minute is 2. Sorry, it's not arriving, number of customers being served per minute. So 10 customers are served every 5 minutes. So every 1 minute there will be 2 customers who will get the service. Okay, now let's find out average number of customers in the system. It is then we'll find the utilization factor, that is your traffic intensity. So it is computed by lambda upon mu, which is represented by rho, and it is 1.6 is your lambda, 2 is your mu, so it comes around 0.8. Okay, now let's find first thing, average number of customers in the system. So this is your total number in average, the total number of customers present in the system. So average number of customers in the system is given by ls, and ls is equals to lambda upon mu minus lambda. So lambda is your arrival rate, mu is your departure rate or service rate. So let's compute it. So 1.6 is your lambda, 2 is your mu, so 2 minus 1.6, and 1.6 divided by 2 minus 1.6, it comes around 4 customers. So average number of customers present in the system is 4. 4 customers is present in the system average. Secondly, we'll find average number of customers in the queue, that is given by LQ. Okay, LQ, average number of customers in the queue. So this is the customers in the queue, or the customers who are waiting in the waiting line. So let's find out the number of customers waiting, the number of customers waiting in the queue. So it is given by lambda square upon mu in bracket mu minus lambda, and which comes out to be 3.2 customers. So 3.2 customers are waiting in your queue. Then third, find out average time a customer spends in the system, which is given by WS. Okay, the time spent by a customer, the time spent by a customer in the system, including its waiting time and service time. So it is given by 1 upon mu minus lambda. So 1 upon 2 minus 1.6, it comes around 2.5 hours. So that is your WS. That is your WS. Then the last one, average time a customer waits before being served. How much time he has to wait? How much time he has to wait in this queue? In this queue. So average time a customer spends in the queue is given by WQ and is equals to lambda upon mu in bracket mu minus lambda. So it comes around 2 hours. So every customer has to wait for 2 hours before he or she gets serviced there, and the total time he spends in the average total time that he spends or she spends in the system is 2.5 hours. The the customers waiting in the queue, average number of customers waiting in the queue is 3.2, and the customers present in the system is 4. So in this way, we have computed the various things asked to us. Now let's see one more example, and this is more sort of you can say example that comes in your question paper. So this is the numerical here given to us, and it says workers come to tool storeroom. Okay, so company's situation is given here, and it says that number of workers come to tool storeroom to receive special tools required by them. So there are tool storerooms present in the company that keeps the tools with them, and there is one attendant present there, and he gives the special tools required to the workers for their project. Okay, now for accomplishing a particular project assigned to them, then average time between two arrivals. Now here directly the number of worker coming to tool room is not given to us. Inter arrival time is given to us. That means the time between two arrivals, the time between two workers coming to the tool storeroom is given to us. So inter arrival time is given here. Okay. Now average time between two arrival is 60 seconds. That means the inter arrival time is given to us. It is 60 seconds. So every between two arrivals, 60 second is time spent, and arrivals are assumed to be in Poisson distribution. So that means our model is model number 1, the average service time of the tool room attendant. Now service rate is also given to us, and it is also given in the terms of inter arrival time. Okay, inter arrival time, or you can say the time between the two services. So service time of the tool room attendant is 40 seconds. It takes 40 seconds. Okay, it takes 40 seconds. Average service time is given to us 40 seconds. Now determine average queue length. We have to find the average queue length, LQ. We have to find average length of non-empty queue. Non-empty queue, we have to use certain formula here. For non-empty queue, LQ dash formula have to be used. Then this, for this LQ is to be used, formula of LQ is to be used. Now average number of workers in system including the workers being attended. Now average number of workers in the system including the workers being attended is to be find out is to we have to find this thing, mean waiting time of an arrival, mean waiting time of arrival, then average waiting time of an arrival, worker who waits. Then this mean means we'll discuss it. The time of policy to be, the type of policy to be established. Okay, this means what kind of policy we have to establish here. What kind of policy we have to establish here, so as to minimize the cost of waiting and idle time cost. So we have to minimize the waiting and idle time cost here. Okay, so in other words, determine whether to go in for an additional tool storeroom attendant. So on the basis of cost, we have to find whether to increase the number of attendant in tool storeroom, or whether which will minimize the combined cost of attendants idle time and cost of workers waiting time, or should we go on with the same policy. So for that, assume the charges of a skilled worker rupees 4 per hour. That of tool storeroom attendant is rupees 0.7 per hour. So for tool room attendant, we have to spend 0.75 rupees per hour. And if we increase the number of skilled worker here, so it will cost us rupees 4 per hour. 4 per hour. Okay, so let us begin with the problem. Let us begin with the problem. The first thing that we will compute is the arrival rate and the service rate. Now the arrival rate is given in per second, or it is inter arrival. It is between two workers. The time between two arrivals or time between two departures is given to us. Now it says it is 1/60 per second. So average time between two arrival is 60 seconds. So 1/60 per second will give us the number of workers arriving per minute. So 1/60 per second means it is 1 per minute. That is one customer arriving, one worker arriving per minute. So one worker is arriving per minute at the tool store room. Every minute we are having a worker there. Okay, every minute we are having a worker in the tool store room. Okay, similarly, how will find out the service rate in minutes? So 1/40 per second, it is equals to 1.5 per minute. That is the service rate. Okay, that is the service rate, and the service rate here is greater is greater than the arrival rate. Since for every um, every arrival, one worker is there, and for every departure 1.5 worker is leaving the system. So you just have to multiply this thing with 60 and this thing with 60. Okay, so 1/60 multiplied by 60 will give us the arrival rate in terms of minute, and similarly 1/40 multiplied by 60 will give us the service rate in minutes. So the service rate is greater than the arrival rate here. Okay, now let's see second thing that we have to find. The first thing that we have to find is average queue length, which is given by LQ. Now the formula for LQ is simple, that is lambda square upon mu in bracket mu minus lambda. So lambda is 1, mu is 1.5. So if we compute it, so 4/3 workers is your average queue length. That is the length of your queue. The number of workers in the queue is 4 by 3. Number of workers in the queue is 4 by 3. This is the first thing that we have found. Now for second thing, uh, that is average length of non-empty queue, we'll use another formula, that is the formula of LQ dash, and that is equals to mu upon mu minus lambda. That is average length of non-empty queue, means every time there will be a customer or there will be a worker in the queue, so it is given by mu upon mu minus lambda. Mu is 1.5, 1.5 minus 1, and it comes around 3 workers. So there will be 3 workers in an average non-empty queue. That is the length of non-empty queue. Now next thing is average number of customers in the system. We have to find average number of customers present in the system. Average number of customers present in the system is given by LS. Okay, so LS is equals to lambda upon mu minus lambda, lambda upon mu minus lambda, and lambda is 1, and upon 1.5 minus 1. So 2 workers are present, or 2 customers are present in the system. Okay, so you can use, instead of customers, you can use workers here. Okay, so next thing is mean waiting time of an arrival. So mean waiting time of an arrival. Waiting time of arrival means the waiting time of a worker present in the queue. Present in the queue. How much time he is waiting there. Okay, so that is given by WQ, which is equals to lambda upon mu in bracket mu minus lambda, which is equals to 1 upon 1.5 in bracket 1.5 minus 1, and it comes around 4 by 3 minutes. So in an average, a worker has to wait 4 by 3 minutes in the queue. He has to wait 4 by 3 minutes in the queue. That is the mean waiting time of an arrival. Then it is asked, next thing that is asked is average waiting time of an arrival. Who waits? Who waits? Average waiting time of an arrival. Who waits? That is the you can say the waiting time of the system. Okay, the total waiting time. W, it is given by W in here, but the formula is similar to your WS. Okay, the formula is similar to S, because the system it is the person or the worker waits in the waiting queue as well as in the system. So it is given by 1 upon mu minus lambda. This is represented by Wn, but it is equal to Ws. The formula is similar with the Ws. Okay, so the average time that an arrival spends in the system, you can say that this is the average waiting time that a worker spends in the system. So average time that a worker spends in the system is equal to 2 minutes. You can see that this time is always greater than this time. Okay, so this is your WS, but for this particular example we are using notation WN. Okay, now the last thing that is asked to us is the probability. Okay, the probability. Now we are dealing with probability here. This is the first time we are computing some probability here. Okay, we have computed these similar things in previous numericals also, but this is the first time that we are computing a probability here, and it is very important to understand how we are computing this probability. Now what is asked here? The probability that the tool room attendant remains idle. Okay, now when a worker arrives at the tool room store, okay, the attendant will attend it So that means the attendant is not waiting there, or the attendant is not idle there. Okay, but whenever there is no worker in the queue, or whenever there is no worker in the system, the tool room attendant will remain idle. Okay, and that is going to cost us some time, or that is going to cost us some amount from its time, right? So that's why we have to find the probability that the tool room attendant remains idle. Now it can be found by this particular formula. And how we have found this particular formula? You all of you know this particular formula, that is the utilization factor. Now how utilization factor is computed? It is computed using lambda upon mu. So arrival rate upon service rate gives us the value of utilization of the system. It gives the value of utilization of the system. Now the system here, or the service channel here, is the tool room store. Okay, the tool room store is our service channel here. So in what amount the tool room store is being utilized will be given by lambda upon mu. So the utilization factor for this particular tool room store will be computed by using this formula lambda upon mu. उसको कितना हम यूटिलाइज कर रहे हैं उस जगह को, वो हमको मिलेगा इस लैम्बडा अपॉन म्यू से। ओके, और इसके बिल्कुल अपोजिट, मतलब ये कब यूटिलाइज नहीं हो रहा है, ये टूल रूम या टूल स्टोर रूम कब यूटिलाइज नहीं हो रहा है, ये कैसा मिलेगा? तो वन में से अगर हम इस यूटिलाइजेशन फैक्टर को सब्ट्रैक्ट करते हैं तो हमको वो चीज मिल जाएगी जबकि वो जो टूल रूम अटेंडेंट है जब वो आइडल है, ये हमको प्रोबेबिलिटी इसमें से मिल जाएगी। ओके, यूटिलाइजेशन फैक्टर क्या है? ये वो फैक्टर है जो बताता है कि जो सर्विस चैनल है ये कितने अमाउंट में या कितने परसेंट में क्या हो रहा है, यूटिलाइज हो रहा है, इस्तेमाल हो रहा है। और वही वन में से अगर सब्ट्रैक्ट आप कर दे तो ये वो चीज बताएगा कि जितने समय के लिए ये टूल रूम या जो सर्विस चैनल है वो आइडल है। ओके, सो 1 माइनस लैम्बडा अपॉन म्यू will give us the time, or will give us the probability that the tool room store attendant remains idle. Okay, so it is equals to 1 by 3. So 1 by 3 means in probability 1 by 3, the tool room attendant remains idle. For this much of percent the tool room attendant remains idle. Okay, so 1 by 3%. Now there will be some cost associated with this idle time of the attendant. There will be some cost associated with this idle time of the attendant, and how will compute it? So the idle time cost of one attendant, if there is only one attendant, so idle time cost of one attendant is equals to your probability that the amount he is remaining idle, so it is given by 1 by 3. Now this 8, so we are using this 8 because this 8 represents a shift, that in average we have assumed this 8 hours. In an average a worker or an attendant spends 8 hours in the company, so we are computing for every 8 hours or for every shift. So 1 by 3 into 8, and the cost that an attendant is you can say charging is 0.75 rupees. So this 0.75 rupees is given here. So he is charging, the tool storeroom attendant is charging around 0.75 rupees per hour for every hour, for every hour. Okay, this is for every hour. So for 8 hours it will be multiplied by 8. Okay, so for every 8 hour it will be multiplied by 8. So 8 multiplied by 0.75 multiplied by the time he remains, or the probability that he remains idle, is 1 by 3. So this 1 by 3 multiplied by 8 multiplied by 0.75 rupees will give us the idle time cost of an attendant for a day, because every attendant works for 8 hours in a you can say in out of the 24 hours of the day. So rupees 2 per day, rupees 2 per day the cost is for the idle time. सो हमको आइडल टाइम का जो कॉस्ट है, मतलब जितने देर के लिए ये खाली बैठा था उसके देर के लिए हमको कितना लग रहा है चार्ज, रुपीज 2 पर डे. ओके, रुपीज 2 पर डे. नाउ the waiting time cost of workers is to be computed. मतलब अगर waiting time cost अगर हमको कंप्यूट करना है, मतलब वर्कर जब वेट कर रहा है क्यू में, या वर्कर को जब तक वेट करना पड़ रहा है, तो उस के वेटिंग टाइम से एसोसिएटेड कॉस्ट कितना है. देखो हमको क्या बोला है, अगर मैं अटेंडेंट बढ़ाऊं एक, अगर मैं अटेंडेंट बढ़ाऊं एक, तो मुझे खर्चा कम हो जाएगा क्या, ये मुझे चेक करना है. या अभी जैसा चल रहा है, अभी कैसा चल रहा है कि अभी लोग आते हैं, वेट करते हैं और सर्विस लेते हैं. सो ये जो वेटिंग टाइम कॉस्ट है, ये अगर बड़ी रहती है हमारे आइडल टाइम कॉस्ट से, तो हम क्या करेंगे, हम क्या करेंगे, सिंपली अटेंडेंट जो है उसको क्या कर सकते हैं, बढ़ा सकते हैं. ओके, ताकि ये वाली जो कॉस्ट है, ये वाली जो कॉस्ट है, ये ऑटोमेटिकली क्या हो जाए, कम हो जाए. ओके, now waiting time cost of the workers is given by WQ, that the time that a worker has to spend in the queue, मतलब मीन टाइम कितना उसको वेटिंग में कितना देर गुजारने पड़ रहे हैं, वो टाइम है ये, मल्टीप्लाइड बाय नंबर ऑफ वर्कर्स अराइविंग पर डे, मतलब कितने वर्कर आ रहे हैं सिस्टम में, उससे मल्टीप्लाई करेंगे. मतलब एक वर्कर को अगर 4/3 मिनट्स लग रहे हैं, तो कितने वर्कर्स आ रहे हैं, अगर 40 आ रहे हैं, 50 आ रहे हैं, या जो भी आ रहे हैं नंबर्स, उससे मल्टीप्लाई करेंगे. ओके, और मल्टीप्लाइड बाय द कॉस्ट ऑफ वर्कर. सो कॉस्ट ऑफ वर्कर हमको दिया है 4 रुपीज, वो क्या है, कॉस्ट ऑफ वर्कर है. ओके, कॉस्ट ऑफ वर्कर कितनी है, रुपीज 4, ये हमको यहाँ पर स्टार्टिंग के इक्वेशन में दिया है, रुपीज 4 पर आवर दिया है. सो हर एक घंटे को वर्कर कितना खर्चा लगा रहा है, 4 रुपए उसको खर्चे लग रहे हैं. ओके, सिंपल है. एक एक वर्कर अगर एक घंटे के लिए 4 रुपीज चार्ज कर रहा है, और अगर वो आधा घंटा खाली बैठा रहता है, तो 2 रुपए आप क्या कर दे रहे हैं, वहां पर वेस्ट कर रहे हैं, बराबर है. और वही अगर अटेंडेंट बढ़ा दिया जाए तो उसको कितना खर्चा लगेगा, तो 2 रुपए पर डे उसका आइडल टाइम कॉस्ट लगेगा कुछ भी. तो हमको वो उस पे से टैली करना है कि ये नया एम्प्लॉयमेंट लेना सही रहेगा, अटेंडेंट लेना सही रहेगा, या जो अभी सिस्टम हम फॉलो कर रहे हैं वही सही रहेगी. सो वेटिंग टाइम ऑफ कॉस्ट हम कंप्यूट करते हैं. तो पहले हम उसके लिए क्या करेंगे कि अराइवल रेट देख लेंगे. हम यहाँ पर अराइवल रेट और सर्विस रेट साइड में लिख ले रहे हैं. ये क्यों लिख रहे हैं मैं आपको थोड़ी देर में बताऊंगा. तो सबसे पहले हम WQ लिखते हैं. तो ये WQ है हमारा 4/3. ओके, 4/3 जो हमने कंप्यूट किया है, ये मिनट्स में है, मतलब 4/3 मिनट्स स्पेंड कर रहा है वो वर्कर क्यू में, 4/3 मिनट्स स्पेंड कर रहा है वर्कर क्यू में. सो ये हम दिन के लिए निकालना चाह रहे हैं या आवर्स के लिए निकालना चाह रहे हैं. सो आवर्स के लिए अगर हम निकालना चाह रहे हैं तो इसको मल्टीप्लाई करेंगे 1/60 से. सो 1/60 से जब मैं मल्टीप्लाई करता हूँ, तो एवरी आवर के लिए ये वेटिंग टाइम मुझे यहाँ पर मिल जाएगा, 4/3 मल्टीप्लाइड बाय 1/60. ये 1/60 क्यों की हमने, बिकॉज वी वांट टू फाइंड इट पर आवर. ओके, पर आवर का मुझे हर घंटे का मिलेगा. ओके, इससे मुझे क्या मिल जाएगा, पर आवर उसका वेटिंग टाइम मिलेगा. ये वेटिंग टाइम क्या है, ये मिनट में है, ये पर आवर मतलब ये आवर्स में है, पर आवर बोलने के बजाय ये आवर्स में है, और ये यहाँ पर मिनट्स में है. अब यहाँ पर मैं जब आवर्स में निकाल रहा हूँ, ओके, तो ये एक घंटे के लिए मुझे ये मिल जाएगा उसका वेटिंग टाइम, या आवर्स में मिल जाएगा. और वही मल्टीप्लाई जब मैं करता हूँ 8 से, मतलब कितने दिन कितने देर के लिए वो वर्क कर रहा है कंपनी में, तो 8 घंटे के लिए स्टैंडर्ड वर्क करते हैं. सो 8 मल्टीप्लाइड बाय दिस विल गिव अस उसका डे का वेटिंग टाइम मुझे यहाँ पर मिल जाएगा. सो 4/3 मल्टीप्लाइड बाय 1/60, it will convert this 4/3 minutes into hours, multiplied by 8 into 60. Now how this 60 comes, ये number of workers 60 कैसे आए, ये number of workers 60 कैसे आए, तो वो आए हमारे अराइवल रेट से. अराइवल रेट क्या बोलता है, 1 वर्कर पर मिनट क्या हो रहा है सिस्टम में आ रहा है, 1 वर्कर पर मिनट सिस्टम में आ रहा है। तो हर घंटे में कितना आ रहा होगा, हर घंटे को मिलाकर 60 वर्कर्स विल बी कमिंग इन द system. So for every hour there will be 60 workers coming to this tool room store. So every hour there will be 60 workers coming to this particular store, because for every minute one worker is arriving at the station. जो स्टेशन है या चैनल है वहां पर हर एक मिनट को एक वर्कर आ रहा है। तो 60 मिनट के बाद में, मतलब 1 घंटे के बाद में कितने आ जाएंगे, 60 आएंगे। तो ऐसे 8 घंटे में कितने आएंगे, तो 8 मल्टीप्लाइड बाय 60, सो 8 मल्टीप्लाइड बाय 60। ओके, और हर एक घंटे के लिए वो वर्कर कितना चार्ज करता है, 4 रुपए चार्ज करता है। ओके, सो इसकी वजह से मुझे पता चल जाएगा कि जो पर डे का एक वर्कर का खर्चा है, पर डे का एक वर्कर का जो वेटिंग का खर्चा है, वेटिंग टाइम कॉस्ट है, वेटिंग में कितना वो स्पेंड कर रहा हूं मैं, वो जब मैं चेक करूंगा तो मुझे पता चल जाएगा। सो इट कम्स अराउंड 42 रुपीज, रुपीज 42.67 पर डे। 42, अराउंड 42 रुपीज मैं क्या कर दे रहा हूँ, एक दिन में एक वर्कर पर वेटिंग के लिए खर्च कर दे रहा हूँ। मतलब 42 रुपए मेरे वेस्ट हो जा रहे हैं सिर्फ वेटिंग में। मेरे 42 रुपीज क्या हो रहे हैं, वेस्ट हो जा रहे हैं सिर्फ वेटिंग के लिए। ओके, तो मैं अब देखूंगा कि आइडल टाइम कॉस्ट और वेटिंग टाइम कॉस्ट में से मुझे कौन सा ज्यादा बेहतर है या कौन सा ज्यादा फायदेमंद है। So as the waiting time cost is much higher than idle time cost, this is much higher than the idle time cost. This is the time cost associated with the attendant who remains idle for some time. Okay, who remains idle for some time, and this is the cost per day associated with the worker who waits in the queue, who waits in the queue. So this amount is much higher than this amount. So it is justified, or it is good to employ one more attendant, or it is good to you can say increase the number of attendant in the tool room, in the tool room store where the tools are stored, so that this particular amount will come down by certain rupees. Okay, this particular amount will get reduced. So it is justified to employ an additional room attendant. So that is our policy, and that is how you solve the problem of a queuing model. Thank you.